And there's more, because as the country becomes more and more crowded and the environmentalists become more and more noisy, it makes more and more sense than ever to have a small car.
There are lots to choose from. None of these cars are really small. They are, in fact, massive. 40 years ago, car makers could sell you something much smaller. The original Mini, for example, or the bubble car. But even these aren't small. Not really. Not compared to this. The P50. That is 54 inches long and 41 inches wide. It is listed in the Guinness Book of Records as the smallest production car ever. And what I'm sure you're expecting me to do now is introduce Richard Hammond. But what I'm actually going to do is drive it to work. All, 6'5" of me. Built on the Isle of Man in the early 60s, the P50 was said to be almost cheaper than walking. Cost £198 and did 100 miles to the gallon. It sounds perfect, then, for the roads of today. Of course, there are one or two drawbacks. Can't imagine, for instance, that it's terribly safe. Not when your knees are the crumple zones. And nor is it very fast.
What I've got down here by my right knee, in the cabin, making an awful lot of noise and generating quite a bit of heat, is the 49cc engine from a moped. Top speed rather depends on how big you are and actually how much you had for breakfast. But realistically, even the skinniest, shortest chap with the whitest of teeth will struggle to get past 35. There's something else I've just thought of as well. I have to pay congestion charge in this part of London, but the camera crew in the Lexus 4x4 don't because it's a hybrid. How fair's that? It's not like I'm creating any pollution at all.
The Peel, then, is not only a handy way of getting to work at all. The great thing about a car this small is that it's very light, which means that when you get to work, you just pick it up and carry it inside. Future young men and women, Peel P50. I think it's 4.5 horsepower. You know those little Tykes cars that all kids have got? That's exactly the same, one door. Oh, right. Got a new Ferrari down there. Not interested. This. Even John Humphrys dropped by for a look. Who's got the car? Who's stolen the car?
Got the power under this bonnet. It's impressive. Whoa! Oh, Clark's when you met your match here, mate.
Please don't just steal our things. Do you mind?
Thanks very much indeed. Jolly nice of you.
Soon I was summoned to an important BBC meeting. Most of the people going would be walking, but I was running late and decided to use the car. After a short drive, I arrived at BBC Television Centre. Unfortunately, though, this is the most complicated building in the world. This Peel P50 really is absolutely brilliant. If it had a reverse gear, I would describe it as the absolute ultimate, really, of personal mobility. That's Dermot Moynihan. Oi! It is Moynihan! Moynihan! Oh, thanks. Thanks for that.